bring it up? It's kind of late. We live.
Yeah, we live already.
Stop it and go back. It's fine. Whatever.
Lord.
It's all right. All right. Let me go in here.
You said it's on your page?
Share it. Yes. Okay, Cordy, you're gonna have to go upstairs, but I love you.
Want to.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, family?
We are sharing, so please, as y'all come in, like it and share it and tune in. Okay? Thank you. You know, just share it to the page. Because I can't do it. I want to give everybody a moment to like log in.
What's going on?
We have. Okay, so when we record, everything is like pre-recorded, and we're able to edit things out. But Friday night, kids are home, and got friends.
How do I switch with? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, got a little friend with us just in case he decides to pop on to the camera. Come in, come in, come in. I'm tagging folk. Cordy, go sit on the couch. Look at the camera.
Lord, have mercy.
Oh my goodness. Come on, go sit.
I don't
You
want
can be
to
my
sit
audience.
down.
You can be our audience.
I don't want to sit down.
Okay, just a minute. We'll be back in moments.
I don't want to sit down. I don't want to sit down.
She'll be right back, y'all. What's going on?
All right, I'm back.
We're about to start the conversation, but while y'all on, what's going on, Keish? Make sure y'all like, share,
Hi, family.
tag your people that you
I'm
think
back.
might benefit from the conversation.
Yes. So if you guys have not been aware of what it is that we are talking about tonight, I'm gonna turn this off.
Turn your volume down.
We are kind of doing a spillover from the episode that we
Feel so
just
close
put on to our YouTube page, Facebook, everything, All This Fair Love and Marriage podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know I was still playing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, echoes. But yeah, so we did an episode. It crashed. Like we were like literally closing out the episode. It crashed, and I was like on the verge of tears because it was so good. And not necessarily to say that it was anything that we were like scripting up and we was like putting together so people could like it. It was good to me. Was it good to you? It was good.
Very good combo.
So
Very good dialogue.
when I found out that it crashed, I was like, oh my God, I quit.
Yeah, she was sick.
I was so mad. I
I
stormed
was
out.
upset too, but she was sick.
So then I went upstairs, lay down, then it popped back up. So we never finished it.
Hold on, Cordy, get that out your mouth, bud. Thank you.
So we wanted to get on and kind of like have some dialogue because it got some feedback, and it's still stewing because it was good stuff. So the question, and I wanna tag some more people. So tell them about the episode, babe.
So we were talking about posts that my brother-in-law had put up, just speaking about after there's been cheating or infidelity in a relationship, is it possible to return back to normal? And we really broke down our different perspectives on the topic. We had some commonalities, but we also did have a few differences in how we viewed things. But that's what All Is Fair in Love and Marriage is all about.
That's where,
you know, if you listen to the intro song, I said discussing everything from A to Z, because that's the way it's supposed to be. We may agree to disagree, but in the end, we know it's you and me.
Yeah.
So we go into these conversations not to try to win over the other individuals, to bring them over to each other's ideals.
But it can happen.
I mean, sometimes it happens just based on the conversation and
right.
you know, just kind of bantering back and forth. But there are times where we just have two different views on things, and that's okay.
And that's what happened this last episode that we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So we had kind of, like Court said, we talked about or responded to, we responded to, my brother had shared the question about infidelity and going back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So we addressed it from a personal point of view, because if you are familiar with our relationship and our marriage and our podcast, we put it out there.
Yep.
We are survivors of infidelity. We are survivors of that, and we did not return to normal. We created a new normal. Look at you in my brain.
No, for real. That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. We created a new normal, and that was really the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was really the view of the conversation. Like the point of it was normal.
But there were some nuances.
Yes, but we kind of course, my brain was like, as Court was responding, he said, you know, normalcy is a facade.
Mm-hmm.
And as he was continuing to talk, I was like, my brain wheels was turning, and I was like, I don't think that we put on a facade. And he was like, absolutely we did. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't put on a facade. I didn't feel like I put it on. I put on a facade. And we kind of like went back and forth a little bit about that. So I kind of wanted to have the overflow, kind of have like a little dialogue with it, because I want to know what y'all like think a facade is, and what kind of create or makes a person have a facade. So we've been talking about this consistently since my good sis pulled up yesterday. She watched the episode. She pulled up.
What's going on, Miles?
Hey, Miles. She pulled up and was like that she wanted to, you know, talk to us or whatever. So it was like, all right. And then she's known me since I was 10. All right. And that's only 5 years ago.
Bruh.
No, I was just joking. But she's known me since I was 10. And so we've you know, we have a history, and we have a history to the point
We're going to bring her on the camera, too.
We're going to bring her on.
Mm-hmm.
So she better be on.
Daddy,
There she go.
Daddy,
She on.
Daddy, I got 10 points.
Okay, but you got to sit down and play quietly, all right?
Okay.
But yeah, so she was like, you know what? She was like, Dereka, you definitely had on a facade.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't to say, oh, Dereka, you were fake, or Dereka, you was or Dereka, you was being fake, or anything like that. It was just more so
turn it down all the way.
This is why we pre-record, because
I'll
going live is just not it. But so she basically was saying that I put on a facade because, you know, operating as normal is a facade. And for me, only reason why I disagreed with it on the show, I disagreed with it like constantly just going back and forth in my mind because for me and black women as a whole and moms as a whole and just parents, I should say, I ain't gonna say all parents because, yeah, not all parents, but being raised in a black home, a single mother, my grandmother, she, you know, when I was born, she was a single mother, and she was a grandparent to us all, and that was our support system. You know what I mean? Like where women are used to sticking it out and doing what they had to do. So for me, when Court and I went through our turmoil, I was trying to figure out the worst word to say, but it was tumultuous. Our tumultuous time of infidelity. Thank you. You know, it was me, then it was Court, and then we still had our children to take care of.
Yeah.
We still had
What's going on, cousin?
roles. Hi, the boy. Hi, Sasha. Hi, sister. We still had our roles to operate in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I say that I didn't put on a facade, it was because I still had to take care of my kids.
Right.
I still had to be mom. Although inside I was angry, although inside I might have been sad and hurt, my children still needed to see mommy wake up and do what she had to do.
And that's where my whole perspective of, but you were operating in normalcy, right? You were doing whatever you could to create a sense of normal.
We don't like the word normal because normal is different for everybody. So routine.
But routine is by definition is something that's done on the normal basis.
Okay.
Correct?
Sure, I guess. I was operating in normalcy.
So you were operating in normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I equate the two, where like the goal of operating in that normalcy, whether it was on purpose or intentional or not, it was still putting up a facade.
But was it?
Yes.
Why?
Because
how?
The real feelings that both of us were feeling in those moments of tumultuous moments.
Mm-hmm.
Those moments we were feeling things that if the outside individuals didn't know what was going on, they would never guess.
But is that a facade, or is that using wisdom, or is that being so? Okay, so
it's a mask, nonetheless.
We have to look at it. So let me ask you this question: Do you feel, and I'm about to put you in a hot seat, do you feel that our relationship with God is a facade?
It can be at times, because a lot of times what we do as believers will mask our humanality behind spirituality.
So when you have faith, is faith a facade?
Faith is not a facade, no, but a lot of times people can use faith as a crutch to not.
It's not a crutch.
No, I'm not saying that the idea of faith is a crutch. Are you kidding me? I can't right now.
Ask Michaela.
Ask Michaela. Ask Michaela to help you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Michaela's gonna go.
Cody, we're recording right now. There's people watching us
You wanna
right
say
now.
Hi?
To continue, I'm not saying that the idea of faith is a crutch, but I'm saying that people will use the idea of faith as a crutch.
Okay.
They use it as an instrument to not have to deal with what is really happening in their lives.
But it's not necessary.
And that's where, you know, people will use this idea of blind faith, but faith without works is dead.
Right.
So you have to put some sort of action behind whatever the faith is that you're believing.
So in very specifics, in that instance, it's not me. Because even if in previous episodes we talked about being fake healed, okay.
We just gonna have background noise tonight, y'all.
At this point,
this ain't the podcast recording, so I'm a little bit more lenient. But I don't get tolerance for it. I get annoyed. Courtney.
yeah.
Quiet.
So we have had previous episodes where I specifically asked myself if I was fake healed. Okay? Because I was faced with a situation where my biggest hit would have been in my face. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that because I'm not ready for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly how I would react. I don't think it is worth me being uncomfortable or, questioning anything, whatever the case may be. Not questioning anything about court, but just questioning about, how women do I look, how, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, no. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Courtney.
So, Court gonna go off the camera for a second. So, like, for me, it was like,
sit and watch.
was I fake healed, right? But I have learned over time that, and we all know this, so when me and Courtney turned around, when we said I do, and we turned around and walked back down the aisle, he wasn't husband of the year. I wasn't wife of the year. I didn't even have a manual on being a wife. Courtney didn't have a manual on being a husband. We learned in the process. So, I'm sorry, you had to leave. So, in the process of us taking that walk, we made mistakes. In that process of taking that walk, we failed. In that process of taking that walk as husband and wife, we dropped the ball a bunch of times.
Several times. Many times.
And in the same thing as deliverance, in the same thing as being healed, in the same sense. So that's why I don't feel like normalcy is a facade, because you're walking in it, but at times you might mess up. You might be like,
I get that. People are going to mess up. That's being a human.
Right.
But just based on what I believe a facade to be and what we kind of looked up earlier today.
Siri told us
what a facade is. And I'll read it for you.
The front of a building.
For your hearing. Aside from that definition. It says, an outward appearance that is maintained to conceal a less pleasant or credible reality.
So when he said
Creditable, excuse me.
When he said that, I was like, so life is a facade. In the words of my bro Jacoby, life is a journey. But life is a facade. That means that everything that we do sometimes might be masking or hiding something interior that we are not okay with, or something that occurred. So my thing is, am I supposed to take every hit and fall down and wear it on my face? No, because I was talking to my good sis Shanti, which she'll be coming away. She gonna be on here. I was talking to her and we were talking about how there are times where the kids will make us very angry before church. I mean, there's been times where exactly, life still has to go on. There are times where
that's y'all truth based on y'all background and y'all upbringing, though. That's not everybody's truth.
That needs to be everybody's truth.
Why?
I'm sorry. That don't need to be everybody's truth. I got on the bottom. No, I'm saying that because it's like, okay, so I won't say everybody's truth, but as children of God, if we're singing, so as I was saying, kids, hey bro, as kids,
what's going on, bro?
Having kids, and we, they driving us nuts, and we going to church, right? And Courtney just spilled something on his shirt. Carter just knocked the orange juice off the table. Michaela got an attitude. This is all real life stuff, y'all. And then we go to church. I'm angry because my kids done pissed me off. But I'm going to get up and sing like I did in the room. How great is our God? Because I'm mad? No. Life still has to go on.
I'm not saying, and what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to go out being broadcast.
Right.
That, this is what's going on. This is like, you don't gotta read a whole report to them. But when you're going through these things, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. It's okay to say, all right, I'm not okay.
I know that. But just because I don't broadcast it to the world does not mean that I put on a facade. It means that I'm using wisdom. It means that maybe I got a good relationship with God in that moment, that the only person I need to talk to it's him. I don't need to go to the church and say, let me tell y'all what done happened. Tasha said, I'm going to have to go on my phone because I can't see that.
I don't got my glasses on either. Hold on. Tasha said, when are you going to, when you're going through certain things, you still have to continue with certain day-to-day things in spite of how you are feeling emotionally. Parenting, life, etc., etc., still keeps going on even when you are broken, pissed, hurt, mad, etc. And everyone don't need to know what's going on. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
So, that being said,
I'm not saying that people don't put on faces. I'm not saying that facades don't happen. I'm just saying acknowledge the fact that you're putting on a facade.
No!
I'm not saying that it don't happen. I admit it. Yes, I put on a facade. Yes, you put on a facade, whether you want to accept it or not.
I don't think that is the case. I mean, okay, all right. So what I did write down in my notes, because I was meditating on this all day, y'all. All right, so I had put down that my facade, and I acknowledge that it's...
We put on church face all the time.
I acknowledge that I possibly was putting on a facade indirectly. Not saying I'm just going to go to church, I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to be like this. But based on my faith, based on my relationship with God, and based on my upbringing, which, like, missionary, and based on my upbringing. And I put also that is a defense mechanism because...
It is a defense mechanism.
Not purposely, though. But I am extremely guarded.
But most defense mechanisms that people put on, they don't even realize that they're doing it in most cases.
Right. I don't want to call it a facade because ain't nothing about me fake. That's why I had a bird moment. Come on. People don't realize that they do. Defense mechanism. And because us as strong black women, we always have to be strong.
And that's why I said it's based on you guys' background. That's not everybody's truth. That's your truth because that's what you were exposed to. That's what you were brought up to see. And that's how you believed coming into this marriage, and that's how you were supposed to be.
Right. I totally agree. And I have been trying very hard.
That is my story.
I know. Your facades come because you gotta protect your role. My facades come because I gotta protect my heart.
Do you always have to be strong? That's what Miles said.
I see it. Courtney, go give me some tissue. I feel like I do. I'm learning.
Why?
I am learning very bit by bit that I have to take off my strength sometimes and lean on who God has given to me. If I start Shanti, I'm not gonna cry. Because God gave me my husband for a reason. God gave me amazing spiritual parents. Amazing spiritual parents. Now, I am something years old, and I'm just now getting...
So you thought I was about to do it.
And I'm just now getting to the place. I'm just getting to the place where I'm able to kind of chip away a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm learning to, lean on my spiritual mother, lean on my spiritual father, lean on my husband, lean on God. Because, and the thing is, I don't even know what it is that I need to be delivered from. I don't feel like I'm being real. Like, I really don't, because I feel like it's just
because
culture and the way I was raised and being super strong.
But if you think about that within itself, just based on that being your exposure, imagine what it was that your mother might have gone through to cause her to be that way. And now those things that haven't been broken off of her, now they passed down to you.
I know.
Those things are, those things they run deep.
And I've been praying, and I often don't say generational curses because I don't want to use that.
Right.
I say generational cycles because that's really what it is.
It's a cycle.
And I'm trying to break that cycle off of me so that I don't put that on Michaela. But like, I don't even know how to I don't even know what it would be to feel like to be
whole,
free. I don't even. I'm holding them back.
Come on, missionary.
I don't even know. Legit. Okay, could you take over? I'm crying. I'm a G. This is the problem.
Free yourself.
This is the problem. No, seriously, I don't even know. And I was also thinking about that today. I wouldn't know exactly what it would be like to be just free, and I don't want to be around here crying all the time.
You don't be crying all the time.
No, I know, but if I don't if I let my strength down, I feel like I'll be crying all the time. But legit, I feel like I don't know exactly what it is that needs to be broken. When is it okay to be strong? When is it okay to put on a facade? When is it okay? Because we're learned and we're taught in church, and my pastor has been talking about it often. We don't
It's a good question.
faith it until you make it, or fake it till you make it, as the world says, or whatever. Fake it till you make it. And then just walking in it, and Dion Kippin has, I don't look like what I've been through. And then they upgraded it. I don't look like what I'm going through. And isn't that how we want to live though? Don't you want to, me personally?
For me, and not to cut you off, but for me, there's a difference between not looking like what you've been through.
Going through.
Or not looking like what you're going through. And not looking like what you've been through, because not looking like what you've been through is just saying, I've been through some hell, but there's no residue of it.
Right.
Where not looking like what I'm going through, granted, of course, if you're going through hell, you don't want to look like hell, I would hope. But sometimes, and this is just my personal belief, sometimes our pursuit of not letting people see us sweat and not letting people see us shaking can kind of supersede everything else in a lot of ways.
I see what you're saying, and that has been me, because I am so big on, and my spiritual mother got on me for this, because I'm so big on not letting people see me sweat, not letting people see me shake, and not have it all together, that when it came to parenting a teenage girl, and I needed help, and I didn't. It's right here.
Sorry. I got my phone.
Just take it. And when I was going through some stuff, and I needed to reach out, I was like, nah, I ain't even gonna bother her. But then that can of soda, if you watch the episode, that can of soda exploded, and I was like, Ma, let me tell. She's like, how everything going over there? She just called me. Because Holy Ghost was like, call Dereka. She called me and she was like, how are you? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just a mess. I'm just all jacked up. She's like, why didn't you call me? I didn't want to bother you. And then she got on me. Because I had to realize that I have people around me that are really there for me and that really want to see me be great. And I didn't know how to do it. You can read some comments.
So, they were kind of having a conversation amongst themselves. Asking questions back and forth.
What was Miles' question first?
Miles' question, his initial question was, could the need to be strong all the time be a facade? Well, his initial one was, do you always really have to be strong?
I answered that one.
And then he followed up by saying, so could the need to be strong all the time be a facade?
I think that's what it is. I think that's my indirect facade. I think because I come from strength. To the point where I wasn't letting Courtney open doors for me, y'all.
It's true. It's true, y'all.
I wasn't letting him open doors for me because I'm from the streets. Nah, but because I was so strong and I didn't need a man for nothing. That's like so common.
Like, to the point where she didn't need a man for nothing.
Not everything.
Alright.
We all grown. We grown.
Right.
No, I'm just playing. But no, seriously. That really jacked me up. It did. And I guess that that was me putting on my facade. But not because I wanted to. You know, and I just had a conversation with my sister who we were talking about how it took us this long to realize that there are some things beyond our own strength that might need somebody else to help to step in. That's the purpose of.
That's the purpose of marriage.
That's the purpose of marriage. That's
from,
the purpose
from the biblical standpoint, when God created marriage.
To me, for me though, to help me.
Yeah, you're supposed to help me.
Exactly. So I'm supposed to be strong. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Your phone about to die. Your phone always dead.
I'll be busy.
No. So, just based on this conversation, will you hold on before you do that? Will you now agree to the fact that you had that you were putting up a facade?
No.
You just said it, so I mean it's already on record.
Nope.
It was an indirect one, like I said.
It was indirect.
You know, it's not always intentional, but we do it.
It was another thing. It was another thing in my notes that I had said about how in the past I've always been quick to get over it.
We're gonna be bringing y'all on here in a second, so y'all
quick to get over it, but not quick to let it go. What's all them question marks for? Quick to get over it, but not quick to let it go. So like,
I'm gonna go ahead.
Go ahead. Addressing what Court was saying, like, it's really Tasha too. It's
Did you
really
bring in multiple people?
not at once, no. It was really me, like, getting over it, but not getting over it. Letting it go, but not being over it. And we both are guilty of that because, you know, Court did it, and then like months later, he was like, "Yo, I ain't over this," and I'm like, "What? It's been? Are you kidding me? Like seriously?" And I'm like, "Nah." But I had to learn how to, like, when you really forgive, you have to really forgive, and it's not just in the sense of forgiving. Like, just, I forgive you, moving on. But, like, I forgive it within me. And I no longer have to indirectly, unknowingly, put on a facade. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Something else you want to address?
Keisha said, you didn't get over it. You just moved on as if it wasn't there, but it was in the back of your mind. Exactly. However, so, that was another thing. So, like, mentally, naturally, in the natural mind, yes, we... decide that we get over stuff and we work to move past it. But even naturally, you don't just get over stuff. You know what I mean? Like, even 5 years down the line, after old girl is married and whatever, I can still see her and my mind will still take me all the way back there. We don't get amnesia, but we just learn how to operate differently. And I think that's why I feel like I didn't put on a facade. I feel like me being able to move on and me being able to continue to operate in, my roles and continue to be a strong mother, it was my maturity. It was my growth. Because had it been like 2 years before, I probably would have been fighting.
That's true.
Vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, like, even for you, like, even just recently, like, I don't think you're putting on a facade. I think that it is just showing your growth and it's showing how far God has brought you from.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. So, Keisha, I'm about to bring you on here so you can kind of be verbal in this conversation. Because you kind of... What?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Absolutely. Oh, that's old. Scroll down.
Oh yeah, I was looking for.
When we're quick to get over things and not let anything go, how do we see true deliverance? So I don't agree with that. That is not true deliverance. Like, who said, okay, so for me, and this could be wrong, like I could be 100% wrong, but it don't take forever to be delivered from stuff. Some stuff it does take time. Some stuff it does take time, but not everything. Like for me personally, and my grandmother was a chain smoker. She had her little change purse. She prayed it, and it was gone. My mother, granted, you know, she gave her life to God and let it all go. Like it's not like she'll tell you her testimony, all drugs, all of that. Let it go. And it's not where, okay, I gotta do this over. No, but if you make your mind up, I'm not going back to this. If you make your mind up, this ain't got power over me no more, it don't. So for me, that's not a facade. If I'm walking, processing, I'm walking and I'm progressing in my deliverance. I'm walking and progressing in my healing. Granted, naturally, I might feel like, oh, you know, it's still a little trigger there. That's what the enemy is. That's what the enemy does. He brings triggers to try to pull you back to where you were. But you're like, you know what? It almost got a rise out of me.
Do you think everything is the enemy?
No.
Because, and I asked that because we were talking about just a moment ago, you know, it doesn't take God forever to deliver you if you pray and you believe it and you want it. I agree to a certain extent, but I agree there's some stuff that God won't fully remove because there's either something that he's trying to teach you out of that affliction, or there's just something that he's trying to give to you and trying to develop inside.
I totally agree. So, and like I said, because of that, I don't feel like you're putting on a facade. God is building your spiritual and natural muscles. Like, so for me to be able to walk on past and not, you know, my heart was like, oh, God, I remember where I used to be.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Miles. You know, because we talk about, you know, we're not putting on a facade, but we don't want anybody to know, you know, some of the stuff that we're feeling, some of the stuff that we're going through. But Paul, when he, you know, he had his own issues that God just wasn't going to deliver him from, and he was very vocal about it. He was very vocal about it when he said, you know, there's a thorn in my flesh that I just can't seem to shake. So now, from now on, when I'm going through something, you know, I'm and again, I'm not saying that everything needs to be broadcast or anything like that. But you're a human. Exactly. And it's okay to be a human. And I want to be a wise human. Because every church person don't want to know your business, to pray your truth. They want to know your business. Totally. To call somebody and tell your business. So, with that being said, I indirectly put on your facade. You put your church face on. No, I don't want to hear it. Put the church face on. I didn't. I was trying my best. Come on. To walk in maturity. I was trying my best not to go to jail. I was trying my best to not see my kids or not have my kids. Keisha, you ain't off the hook. You ain't answer our requests when we tried to come on here. Nah. She said she was coming on. She needed to go and get herself together. But no, seriously, like I feel like, you know, so for me to be able to, you know, walk through and keep a face, I don't think it was a facade. I think it was growth. I can't be out here fighting no more. Church face. No. I'm gonna get a mask developed for you to put church face on it. I don't got no church face. I don't. Like I said on the video yesterday. If the right person, I just tried to add it. I approved it. It says it's adding, but the right person at the right time ask a question, I'm butter. Just like I said with my spiritual mother,
Prophetess Alicia Tucker. She called me, and she was like, "Hey, baby, I just was calling to check on you, hear your voice. I just wanted to talk to you." And I was like, "I'm just going through it." She was like, "Oh, why didn't you go?" But like, there are certain things that she said, "That's God." See, that's God, right? That's God telling you that it wasn't a facade. It was me walking in my healing, in my purpose, in my progress. But like, there are certain things you have to be wise. You know what I mean? Like, you just know what to share, what not to share. That's not being fake. That's used in wisdom, right? So what does it mean? What does it mean when spiritually you say? What does it mean spiritually when you say you're walking in deliverance, you're walking in healing?
That I'm claiming it and I'm believing God to do it for me.
So if you're feeling something, every time you feel something, when you're walking in deliverance, when you're walking in healing, what do you like? What is your practice?
I pray for God to strengthen me in those moments.
Okay, so in those moments, it might be a Saturday night, Sunday morning. Do you wake up and go to church and thanks, uncle or cousin? I'm not really sure which one it is. I think it's my uncle.
That's your uncle.
Hi, Uncle Andre. Do you Saturday night say you have an issue, whatever it is that you are claiming deliverance for, claiming deliverance from? Do you go to church Sunday morning and say, "You know what, Pastor, I can't operate this morning. I'm really going through some stuff. I'm gonna sit here and mope."
I've tried it in the past.
Or
it wasn't very successful, just because of where I operate.
Right.
Unfortunately. But there were moments where I wish I could have just, taken a back seat for for that Sunday and allowed God to deal with me.
That's what the devil wants.
I get why you say that. but sometimes not our leaders. Nah.
I think that
serve through your struggle.
And I have learned. Honestly have learned. Hi, Chris.
Bro, what's going on?
I have honestly learned what it means to, in Dwayne Thompson. Dwayne Thomas's his favorite phrase is praise the hell out of that situation. Right?
Your situation. But yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Or Tasha Cobb say put a praise on it. Or, like, I've truly learned the purpose and the reasoning behind that, because there were times where I really didn't want to lift my hands and praise God, and really didn't want to really didn't want to, like, I didn't want to be in church. No, I didn't. And God really was like, yo, and it would be something that God will say to me sitting there, or, just having my mind go, y'all. Like, my mind, not just with creative, but like my mind is constantly going. And if something is going on in, in a situation with Michaela or with the kids or whatever the case may be, if I'm heavy, at the end of the day, I promise you, I kid you not, there is going to be something that snaps and breaks. And I'm happy that I got my dance out. I'm happy that I got my tears out. I'm happy that I was there to hear what God said. I'm happy that I was singing on a praise team with my whole heart. You know what I mean? Not carrying that. People be like, check it at the door. That's real. Yeah. Check it at the door. Like, I don't want it. Because what is on me is not going to hinder my praise. What is on me is not going to hinder where God is taking me. Because if every time something happens to me and I let it sit me down, I'm not going to go nowhere.
I agree.
We're not going to grow. We're not going to go. We're not going to grow. We're not going to go.
Happy feet be moving, okay?
We're not going to grow.
That's the one. That's the one.
We're not gonna grow because of everything that we go through. Get us down
You're
here.
right, Pop. You're right.
What's gonna happen?
Pop said right here. He said, first he said, you know, it depends on how deep the issue is. Sometimes you can't sit down. You just got to push through and leave it at the altar.
Mm-hmm.
Then he responded with that by saying servitude doesn't always afford us a break all the time. Imagine what leaders go through.
Exactly.
I totally and 100% agree.
We talked about that too.
We definitely talked about
how.
I totally agree.
Imagine our leaders coming in and saying, you know what, I don't feel like preaching to y'all today. I'm going through some stuff. Y'all get y'all on your own. Mm-hmm. What? Could you imagine? So when God has called you to hire, you can't do that. When God has called you to when God has called you to hire, you cannot just be like, I'ma just keep it moving. I'ma just let this stop me. And then we'll see what happens when I get over it. You gotta put on a facade. Yeah. I don't put on a facade. But you have to
put your church face on.
You gotta put your relationship face on. That's what it is.
No, put your church face on because we are the church. You don't like me.
It's not. I'm good. I had to catch myself. But no, seriously, so for me, this really, really hit me because I'm so big on wanting to be genuine and real and transparent that it really hit me that Keisha Collins, no, that was like her and Court kind of still had they had the same mindset that it is a facade because, you know, if it's sitting dormant, it's still there, and you're serving but you're broken, you're parenting but you're broken, and you're living but you're broken. We do it all the time. I don't know how it would feel, and I honestly, and I taught this in my domestic violence classes, that you have to recognize, you have to know your body in order to know when you're not okay. And that's the same thing in your spirit. That's the same thing, you know, in your emotions. Like, you have to know yourself to know when you're not okay. Mm-hmm. It's like, how would I know if I'm not broken anymore? And sometimes, like, even still, and I don't claim that. I don't claim that because I like and love my husband.
She do.
I like him.
Because I know how I felt when she didn't.
I like him.
And vice versa.
I don't go to 1,000 every day with Michaela. I'm learning. You know, I don't sit and sulk and think about everything that we've been through and hold on to it. Like, for me, that wasn't a cry. That wasn't about to be a cry. I don't do that anymore. So for me, I feel like I'm not there anymore. So it's not me having a facade. It's not me being broken and not whole and not operating. I think it's just me growing and me allowing God to put the pieces back together, because He don't have to put them back together. Right. You know, and if I don't want Him to put them back together and I want to hold on to all of that stuff, I can. It'd be really easy. It'd be easy for me to walk around here being an angry Black woman, because that's a title that they love to give us. Not just saying everybody. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want to be that person. So because I don't want to be that person, I'm going to put the church face on or whatever. I'm going to put the strong face on because I am strong. You have to, I used to say a while ago, you know, dress, and my boss told me this years ago, dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. Now, I'm not saying go to McDonald's in 3-piece suit. I'm just saying, dress for, operate in what you want. Yeah. You know, like God just told me yesterday, do what you gotta do. And I launched our new website,
yes, Some Empire.
And I put Empire because I know where God is taking us. It may not be there today, but I know where God is taking us tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And in my life, in my walk, in my heart, I had to be that person. You know, I had to push through. I might be feeling some way today. I might have had a bad dream, but I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna pray that thing off. Period. Her. Shanti is.
She got low on you.
She told me she was coming on here, but she ain't here.
She said, "Nope, I saw them tears. I'm out."
But no, seriously, like I wanted to do this overflow, and I called it overflow, but I wanted to do the finalization and the continuation of the episode because it was good to us. It was good to us, and I don't feel like I don't want to.
And I hope this conversation has been a blessing for somebody else too.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want it to be like I promise you I'm not about to cry. I don't want it to be like where we feel like we have to carry everything and still push through, because there are still options for counseling. There are still, you know, options for speaking to your spiritual leaders, your spiritual parents, those that you trust.
Yeah.
You know, that those avenues are still there. But
and encouraged.
But the main person that you have to lean on is God. Like every time I go through something, so when Court and I separated or whatever, like, yeah, I wanted to call everybody and like, yo, I can't believe this. Can't believe it. But in that moment, I did something I never did in my life. I made a prayer closet. That was the biggest step for me, the biggest piece of growth in my life, because I've never had a prayer closet. And you know what? That's how we separated, because I ain't never had a prayer closet. So how was I covering my husband for real? How was I covering my home for real if I didn't really get on my face and talk to God? And in those moments of where we feel like we're broken or we feel like we're hurting so much to the point where we can't push through, I can't call, like, yeah, I could probably call my good sister, Tasha, and I know she will pray me through. But what about me? You know what I mean? Like, when am I going to be strong enough to push through? And if I want God to give me more, I have to prove my strength. That's it. I'm done preaching. Cash App below. No, I'm just joking. But no, seriously, I love y'all. I really hope, like Court said, that something I said or something that Court said or even something that was in the comments helps to show y'all that strength is good, but
strength is fallible at times.
Yeah, it is. It is. And just knowing that because you might come to, like, and a lot of people will say, you know, I don't feel good, like, in my emotions. I'm not in a good headspace to go to church. Don't have that thought. Go find a church. Find a church that will shower you with that love. Find a church that really cares, because you might be broken and you might get there and something there might be exactly what you needed.
Yeah.
Right?
Might be the glue that puts you right back together.
Come on, somebody. All right, well, happy feet.
Oh, it was kind of still.
Oh, shoot. Use
your
tools, David.
Good Lord. See, this iPad got us slacking.
Die Daily, yes. Speaking of Die Daily, Miles.
Christian said you can't have a strong face without inner strength.
Thank you, Christian.
Lord.
Right.
See, that's the one. That's the one.
No, wait a minute. No. See, I was about to be like, peace out, y'all boys. However, the great Reverend said that spirits will transfer. They can transfer. Mm-hmm. That is very, very true. Mm-hmm. However, I don't feel, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. You gotta scroll down because I can't even see. Shanti, you hated who? Lord, I didn't see none of these joints.
Lord Jesus. So we didn't see these comments for a reason. Lord have mercy.
That's so true, Tasha. Like legit. We in the right place.
Yeah.
We are in the right place where we don't have to, like, we can show our strength, but we don't have to be guarded. We don't have to have up that titanium wall. Use wisdom, because our leaders teach wisdom.
Yeah.
But we don't have to be like, no, get away from me. I want no friends, no new friends, or none of that. We don't have to do that. And I'm so blessed behind that. So blessed because of that. Now, what the great Reverend Malcolm Wilson said. Now, you definitely have to, I feel like you have to be wise when it comes to certain things that you're going through. And, she said, because I said I like you.
I'm dead.
But Shanti, you've been there.
There was a point
when
in
I
time.
didn't like Court. So like, for me, this is growth, and and he didn't like me either.
Sure didn't.
And
that's not our testimony today, man. Hallelujah.
This is a facade. See? Look at that. I'm just joking. No. But so like the spirits transferring, I feel like, and this is probably bad to say, and it's probably 100% wrong, but like, you're going through some stuff, but if you're fighting it, you know what I mean? Like, everybody got something.
Everybody got something that they struggling with and that they're fighting with.
Everybody has something.
No matter what's going on. But if you're in a place where you're in a broken state and you're vulnerable to this, that, and everything else, you don't need to be in operation in that moment.
I totally agree.
You don't need to be because you're doing more damage than anything.
I totally agree, and I think it's within your heart though.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I mean like the facade. I don't really like that word personally.
The word is the word. You can't really control the definition of the word.
I know, so I'm not gonna use it. So like putting on your church face or whatever the case may be. See, that's exactly what I mean. That's what I mean.
Wow.
Shanti says, I feel like spirits transfer when you're not being open to deliverance and freedom. And I feel like if you're like entertaining that demon that's down in there or that spirit that's trying to take over, I feel like that's when is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say transferable, but I feel like that's when things can become, what's the word? Perverted. You get what I'm saying? And that kind of talk. So for me, my mom was saying, my mom had just shared with us, now this ain't no crazy stuff, so don't try to be thinking no crazy stuff. My mom was like, yeah, Annie and Cordy, they weren't kissing, okay? But she was talking about like they were playing with the babies. Annie's a kisser. So she was like, just be careful. They didn't kiss. But she had made it seem like we were kissing in front of them. And I'm like, well, Cordy's going to see us kiss because we're married.
Absolutely.
Jacoby and Miracle are engaged and they'll be married in July. So they see their parents kiss. And the enemy tried to use that with me as far as like in the house, like, well, Michaela probably thinking about she want to get married next year because I got a husband and it look nice. You know what I mean? And the enemy tried to pervert that and tried to twist it and turn it and make it to something ugly when that's not what it is. God ordained this. Mm-hmm. So I want my son to see here. I want my son to see his dad love his mama.
Mm-hmm. That's healthy.
That's what he's supposed to see.
I didn't see a lot of that. I saw a lot of other stuff.
I didn't see it.
Unfortunately. But I didn't see a lot of that, and it skewed a lot of my initial ideals in marriage. So
I know what
definitely,
marriage.
definitely want to have like a good, healthy model. I'm not saying we need to, doing doing all the concealed stuff in front
Right?
of
Yeah.
ladies,
Nah.
but I'm gonna kiss my wife. I'm gonna kiss my wife
In the mouth.
in the mouth, straight all up in it.
No time.
I don't want that little close up kiss. No, but it's healthy.
Yes.
It's healthy for the children to see that, because that's the model.
That is the model
of marriage that Christ intended.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I didn't want to veer off, but I said that because
I'll kiss you at church.
I said that because
Mm-hmm.
stop. I said that I used to have this big issue, no affection in church. Like church was holy.
I got the
holy.
Mine.
I had said that because I do agree with Ashanti where when you're, and I could be wrong. Like I said, elders, help me out, help us out. But I feel like if you are entertaining it and it's running rampant in you, yeah, absolutely. You gonna taint some people when you are ministering. But I feel like if you are moving how you should and you fighting it, and I feel like you might impart some strength into somebody else. I feel like if I'm battling something and I'm beating it and I'm fighting it, I might impart strength into somebody that is also going through the same thing but just feel like they can't win. Am I wrong? What do you think?
See,
Elder Cameron, what you think?
I don't know, because I think sometimes we tend to see like one victory, and we feel like we've overcome everything.
Man,
and a lot of times we'll
love you, Dad.
Hey, Pop. And a lot of times we'll dive right in to
Pastor.
This pastor. The pastor was on. He's on here. But I'll say it now.
We celebrate our small victories.
Yeah. So we'll have one victory over a situation, and we'll begin to like.
Hi, Pastor.
Okay, go wash your hands.
And I don't know. Like I just feel like we'll take on more than we can chew.
Mm-hmm.
Right out the
that
gate.
happens. Yeah.
Right out the gate, and then we don't know what devils we coming up against, and we get knocked down, and we walk away from the fight with a lot more than
that
what
happens.
we came with.
But on the flip side, what if we have a small victory? Like, man, that wasn't nothing. I ain't really got this. And you go into the next fight and you don't realize you got a little more strength than you had the last time. So I think that when you have a small victory over the enemy, celebrate it.
Absolutely celebrate it.
Stand in it. Take that strength, take that win, and be like, you know what? I overcame this. So I'm going to overcome it again. And I'm going to overcome it again. And I'm going to overcome it again. It's not a facade. You walking in your strength. You walking in your healing. You walking in your deliverance.
Alphabet, Pop, Dad, I'm not touching it.
Dave Chappelle.
I'm not touching it.
No, but that's very true.
It's valid though.
It's
valid. It's 100% valid.
That is very valid.
It's 100% valid.
Especially our Black and brown children. For certain, need to see healthy marriages, need to see healthy relationships, because sometimes they don't, and they don't realize that it exists. I didn't know what a healthy marriage was. I know now. I feel like I know. I think I know what a healthy marriage is. And I greatly thank our spiritual parents for that. I greatly thank our podcast for that too.
And maybe that's something that we're gonna facilitate. Yeah, I might have to facilitate that.
I think that open communication it helped us so much. I mean, it helped me so much because I was able to talk to Courtney. I always talk, but because of the podcast, he had to talk back. And I think that that helped our dialogue, and that helped us to be open with each other, and that helped us to be, you know, to put it out there. Yep. And it be times he be like, what we talking about? I'll let you know when the camera is on. Because it wasn't no time for him to prep. Like, you know what? So let me know about, because it was like, oh shoot, the cameras is rolling. All right, we talking. Because we try, I promise you guys, I really want to be genuine. I ain't putting on no face. I ain't putting on no facade. None of that. Because when you do that, and I've always been like, you know, don't put a Band-Aid over stuff. Get to the deepness of the wound, and like work on the healing of it. And I feel like, for me personally, I feel like when it comes to things that we have been through, I have really addressed the hurt, and I'm learning, and I'm healing it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not healing it. I'm letting God heal it. I'm sorry. And I'm walking in that. Now, when it comes to like, and I said this, I was looking up counselors last night. And I was like, what am I going to even say to a counselor? Show me how to take off strong Black womanism.
I'll ask you this off camera.
Help me to be less vulnerable. I mean, more vulnerable.
I'm asking you again.
Ask me.
Have you considered maybe doing like a family counseling with you and your mom?
Oh, absolutely. I suggested this a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I think so, because I realized it's not tears. I realized that there are things that we both have developed that need to be broken. And I think that for the very first time in my life, okay, for the very first time in my life, I invited my mother out for lunch. I paid for lunch. I took her out. No hidden agendas, no birthday, no Mother's Day. It was, I want to take you out because, oh my God, no. Because I feel like that's really my root. Because me and my mother has a very, very, very strained relationship. And, oh my God, I'm so ugly crying on camera. I'm just playing. But no, I was like, okay, God, I want to develop this relationship with my mother. I want to, you know, break those cycles, because I see it coming in Michaela. I don't want that. You know, I don't want that relationship. I want to grow, and I want it to be healthy. And because of that, I was like, okay, Mom, let's go out to lunch. Just me and you. We ain't gotta, you know, and it was so beautiful. It really was. Like, it was amazing, because we were talking. We were talking as friends. We were sharing with each other. We even was breaking some stuff, you know. And it was good. It was really good. And I know that for me, that's what really needs to be broken. Not the stuff that me and Court been through in our marriage. Not the stuff that, you know, I don't feel like I need to go to counseling for us having infidelity. And I don't think that we need to, you know, go to counseling for, you know, the arguments that we've had. It stemmed from the hardness that my mother and I had against each other. And I was like, I can't do this no more. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to have a healthy relationship with my mom. I want to be a daughter. You know what I mean? Like, I want that. And that's really, so like, if I've ever had to call a counselor for something, it would be that. It would be that. It would be those rooted things. And I feel like that was it. You know, that's why I feel I'm comfortable in walking in healing. I'm comfortable in walking in deliverance. Are you looking for tissue?
I think I got some.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm comfortable in walking in deliverance because I know that it's possible, and I know
I'm always ready for altar work. Come on. There you go, missionary.
I know that it's possible, and I know that this stuff is small.
Mm-hmm.
I like because God put us together. They ain't want to see us together, but they kind of said it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But no, for real, like this is small stuff. Like the stuff that I needed to break and the stuff that really was keeping me from the next level was stuff that I was afraid to address. Stuff that I was like, it's okay, it don't even matter. Like it is what it is. But God was like, nah, sis. Nah, daughter. He was like, nah, you gotta handle that. And that's what I had to do, and that was what made me comfortable in my healing and made me comfortable in my deliverance and made me realize that, every small victory, every small leap is a giant for mankind.
One small step.
Yes. That's what it is. I can't believe I cried on camera. What did Ashanti say?
The score is 1-1. I cried on the one episode, so you had to get one.
That's true. Strength is not the absence of vulnerability.
100%.
I think strength is
the greatest
acceptance of vulnerability. I think strength is being able to embrace it, being able to allow somebody else in. That is really what strength is about.
That's the sign of a strong relationship, is when you're able to be vulnerable and yourself and 100% naked.
Butt naked in his presence.
Withholding nothing from your counterpart. So
I got to get up off of here. I can't believe
I wasn't trying to make you cry out here. I'm sorry.
I don't even know how we got there. Oh, because you asked me the question about going to counseling with my mom. Yeah, but I think that those are the roots that, like Pastor said last night, I don't necessarily want to destroy the roots. I need to replant. Okay, y'all.
Well, y'all, this has been...
Sister, I don't want to cry.
This has been a session.
It's been amazing.
It's been really good.
We had a special guest, Cordy. We
Yeah.
tried to get Keisha on, but
I don't know what happened.
That didn't work.
Technology failed us.
I didn't mention Die Daily. Okay. How did that happen? I don't even know. Cordy came over. So, Die Daily is relaunching. I have apparel that is coming.
Yep.
We are going to...
Let's put on my Die Daily bag cap too.
We have sweatshirts, t-shirts. We gonna listen. Die Daily is back. Full blown. So please be on the lookout for that, because actually I posted some of the initial apparel that is coming.
I'm gonna let y'all get in on the orange one. I might have to design a different
The orange one was like, I put out the orange one and he specially requested an orange Die Daily sweatshirt. But the DMs that I got, I guess it's just not
so I'm gonna create something else for me.
So it's coming. And go to newtwosomeempire.com and you'll be able to get everything.
Yeah.
You'll find a podcast there. You'll find C Newsome Music. You will find Be Extraordinary Graphics and Media. Clearly my name has grown. And Die Daily and more, because there is more.
There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming. So
yes,
definitely stay tuned, stay connected.
Miles, he put out music.
Like, share. I did. Yeah, I put out a prophetic worship.
It's called The Seek.
Moment called The Seek.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Praying for a phenomenal delivery.
Yes. But we're definitely growing and expanding, not within the number of people within the family.
Not within the number of people in the family.
In the name of Jesus. But no, but God is adding to us, and we are totally grateful to him for assigning us with everything that he's putting in our hands. We want to be good stewards over it, and we want y'all to be a part of the journey.
Yes.
So wherever we're at, you can follow us, like, subscribe, comment, share with all your friends and family. And I don't got nothing else. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I love y'all.
Love y'all so much.
I love you guys so much.
We gotta do this again, maybe sometime soon. We might have to work on facilitating that panel.
Yes. Love you, Auntie Nita. Shanti. No.
See,
That's not it.
I bind every word curse.
Can't do it. Carter has broken 3
Carter is the
televisions. That's it. Ain't no more.
Yeah.
I mean, we got more TVs, but ain't no more kids coming. No. But yes, we love y'all, and we definitely will put on something.
Yeah.
Because we ain't it, and there's so many gyms out there.
Absolutely.
There's so many heavy hitters. Like, we are where we are because of the heavy hitters in our life. Our
100%.
pastor and our first lady, our spiritual leaders. Like, they exude and they inspire. They exude inspiration and they inspire us to be great. But we got, I mean, like, even for people who can, we go. Shanti, you just planted the seed. Now it's going to work.
Lord. Well, we're going to get out of here. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. And until next time, stick with us.
Stick with us.
We're going
places. CNN. Sorry.
Bye, y'all. See y'all. Bye.